as a manager, you have to have a good goalkeeper. And we go back to the start where you brought up the Mendy-Kepa situation. I don't know if Mendy may have saved the shot, and I don't know. But for me, Kepa doesn't fill the goal, and Mendy does. You know, and he's a better goalkeeper, and they look far more, for me, assured when Mendy plays. And it's a cup final. And maybe Thomas Tuchel might look at it and go, yeah, I've gone for Kepa because he played in every round. But when you're in the final, you should go with your number one. That's just my opinion.
You know what I always say, it's like sometimes you can outplay yourself by thinking too much.
You overthink it, yeah.
Yeah, you know, just like I said it from the get-go. I said, look, and I'm never going to say like I'm right, but I said, just make your choice. Don't go and do like, oh, I want to be nice to him and nice to him. No, you know, football is not built on that. It's not. If you want to be nice, we're not pros. You understand? If you want to be a pro, you're going after achievements and winning things. And I looked at that strike. That strike was extremely well. It was in the top of the corner. It's very hard to say. But you're always going to look and say, should the goalkeeper make one more step forward?
Yes.
To make the goal smaller? That is the only thing I would look at. That's me. But, you know, like, make a step forward. Yeah.
And the ball's traveled a long way, you know. I agree. Maybe it's a super hit, but I think, you know, he's under it. And I'm just thinking if a bigger goalkeeper may have got across it. I don't know. Maybe I'm sort of being a bit pedantic here, but I just think go you're number one in the big games.
Interesting. Well, I mean, what about the management side of keeping Kepa on board? Because he has a very big price tag attached to him. It might be hard to sell him should Chelsea want to. So why not build his confidence up? And like Thomas Tuchel said at the start, he's given everybody a clean slate. He's given Kepa a chance to prove himself. And he has shown that he's a good goalkeeper before he joined Chelsea, you probably say. But maybe that's a way of looking at it, Neil?
Me personally, I don't see anything in Kepa to be Chelsea's number one goalkeeper.
Nothing.
He's been there for 2 or 3 years now. You know, look at the Man United situation as well. What Man City and Liverpool have done over the last few years is gone out and got the best goalkeepers. So Man City go and get Ederson, Liverpool get Alisson Becker, and all of a sudden they win the Champions League and the league, and Man City are perennial. You know, they won 3 titles out of 5. You need a great goalkeeper to win things. You know, Mario played with some unbelievable goalkeepers. And when your backs are to the wall, when you need your goalkeeper to make saves, they make them. Schmeichel proved today what a great goalkeeper he is by 2 incredible saves and big moments in the game that really broke the hearts of Chelsea. I'm not convinced Kepa could do that on the other side of the field. And maybe I'm being overcritical of Kepa, I don't know. But that's just from what I see from an observer looking at Chelsea over the past few years.
The size thing.
I'm just... No, look, what you said, you know, like, and one of the key things I think, you know, what you said is, of course, as a manager, you understand, also you look at that view away from a player. For me, maybe as a player, I like ease behind me, you know, and you as a manager, you want to have ease. Like, when you put that name on the board, you don't want to look at that anymore, because that should be something that you already put down. For me, it's like as a player, I want to feel behind me, I'm calm. Look, Kepa is maybe now way more comfortable as he normally is, but away from that, I picked the one that is in top form and is playing well. And I'll be honest to you, I'm a player. I wasn't like one of the ones that would be shy away from moments, because if I felt like I had to play, I have a conversation with my manager, because I want to play. And I would, if I was Mendy, I would have that conversation with Tuchel and say like, listen, at this time, it's my time, you know, like, if I play bad, then you give him his chance. But if I play good, I got to play.
Let's say, Mario, for you, I'm not going to put words in your mouth and say the best goalkeeper you ever played with is, but I think from an outsider's perspective, the name that stands out for your teammates, for me anyway, would be Edwin van der Sar. So do you feel that just having him there in the nets, between the sticks, behind you, just gave you a little bit more confidence, that extra 5%? Because as a viewer, even for, I think, around the world, when you saw Van der Sar in goal for Ajax or Manchester United or Fulham or the Dutch national team, you're thinking, there's no way past him. He's so big, he fills up the goal, he holds on to everything.
He teaches you little things. You know, when I was a young boy, I was like, I came in the first team when I was 19, and he was teaching me little things in the sense of like, so Tielemans, it's very hard because look, in front of a Silva, you know, he's got enough experience. But what you do normally, you would say he's a righty. So you try to make sure that you block his right foot. So in the sense of make him shoot with the other one. But yeah, definitely Van der Sar. I had Cudicini that was at Chelsea in his prime time. And I didn't think they could come up with a better goalkeeper. And next thing they do, they go and find one. It even topped Cudicini, you understand, in Peter Cech. And I never thought Chelsea would find someone better than Cudicini at that time. But just a couple of goalkeepers. But I just want safety behind me, because safety behind me makes me less worried about that. And they make me a better player too. Because when you make a mistake, and we are on the last line as defenders. When you make a mistake, it's a goal. But if you got a good goalkeeper, that's what Louis Vergaal told me. Count, my debut was one of the most terrible debuts I could have even imagined. It was the opening day of the Stadium of Ajax. And I pulled, I think it was a player down from AC Milan. They got a penalty, they won that game. And he told me when I was 9, he said, don't ever pull a player down in the penalty box, because you should count on your goalkeeper to save you at that point. And it was Edwin van der Sar in the goal.
Wow. All right. A lesson from him there. And I want to pick up on your comments about size. Neil, I'm sure you saw what Roy Keane has been saying in the press concerning Dean Henderson, his lack of size in the Manchester United goal. And I'm looking at the stats for Kepa and Mendy. Mendy's about 6'6". He is a big man. He is sizable. Kepa's about 6'1". I mean, he's not short, but he's not the same build and hasn't got the same frame as Mendy. Does that make a huge difference for you? Because nowadays, a lot of goalkeepers tend to be slimmer, and it's not so much about size, it's about speed and being able to play out from the back. But we've seen that with Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, for me, you know, I want my goalkeeper to make saves at him in important moments. And, you know, I watched the Man United-Liverpool game. I thought Henderson was really poor, particularly for the fourth goal. Left a massive gap, looked small in the goal. I saw him it was actually at the AC Milan game at Old Trafford when he actually got under the header from Simon Kjær in a really important moment in the game. Like, you know, a lot of managers, a lot of players, a lot of co-commentators like goalkeepers to be good with their feet and, you know, be agile. I like my goalkeeper to be big, you know, and then cover the goal, make saves that other goalkeepers can't make. I had a goalkeeper at Celtic, Fraser Foster, who won us many games in Europe, won us many games in finals, because he could make saves other goalkeepers couldn't make. Now, you know, you touch on maybe Schmeichel today, maybe not being the biggest, but he's strong, he's competitive in the air, he's brave. I'm not so sure Kepa is. You know, when the ball's coming into the box from corners or wide free kicks, I don't see him come and taking command and either punching or clearing his lines. And I don't see that with Henderson at Manchester United either. Yeah. It's great to be good with your feet, but you need to keep the ball out of the net first and foremost, and that's what I always look for in a goalkeeper.
This strangely enough reminds me of a conversation I had much earlier in the season. It's opening few weeks with Tony Adams, and he was talking about the goalkeeping situation at Arsenal, saying Arsenal should have kept Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez reminded him of David Seaman, who was a big goalkeeper, could fill up the net, whereas Bernd Leno isn't Martinez's size, and he just didn't have the same impact. Now, it looks like Tony's words maybe have come true across the course of the season because of how well Martinez has performed. So it's something to think about. Are you in agreement there, Mario, playing for your feet versus size?
No, look, I come from height, so we do a lot of with our feet. And I think when the feet situation came in, I had Edwin, and he was very good with his feet. Why? Because we would play like boxers. You know, sometimes the goalkeepers had to join in boxes because they wanted them to be better on their feet and the way they're kicking and the style. But when it comes to size, why I like size, and because that was my background with guys that are behind me, I feel like they don't have to do a lot because you're already scared, especially when you play in England. When in England, there's one thing in England what I've learned. When the ball goes in the air and the goalkeeper comes out, if you're not taking the ball, the man cannot be taking you. You got to take the man. And I think that it doesn't come down to only England. It goes down in Scotland. I'm sure you are familiar with that task too. You know, when you go up as a goalkeeper, you got to take everything with you. and I feel like you have to be able to have that confidence, and you have to be able to do that, because that sets players off in the sense of like, oh, I'm not going up with him. Because you know how strikers are. A Vardy will run right through you. And if you have that setup in the sense of like, hey, back off, he knows I'm not going there.
I'll go back to the Manchester United situation at the minute, Adam. If they are to be challenging for the Premier League, then they have got to get the goalkeeping situation right. Because it's not right at the minute. And they don't look, I don't think they're anywhere near, you know, I went to see Man City last night. I don't think they're anywhere near the level of Manchester City. So you've got to get your team right from, we always talk about the spine of the team. If you go through Man City Spain, you know, they've gone Ederson, they've gone Ruben Diaz, they've gone Rodri or Fernandinho, and then they sprinkle it with stardust, you know, with the players that they have. You know, Liverpool went and got Van Dijk, went and got Alisson Becker, and all of a sudden they win the Champions League against Tottenham, and then they go and win the Premier League by a long, long way. I'm not sure Manchester United are there yet. So watched Man City play PSG, you know, away in Paris, and then I was actually at Manchester United Roma, and the difference in the quality of the game was massive, massive in terms of quality, in terms of possession, in terms of goal scoring opportunities, and the control that Manchester City had. Chelsea are sort of getting there, but they're still a work in progress. But I think there will be more of a challenge next season than most of the other teams around Man City.